This was a momentous decade, one marked by the unification of the original 13 states. It was a period which formed a foundation for the expansion which was to follow clear across the North American continent to the Pacific Ocean. It was a decade of creative thought and action. The invention of the cotton gin expanded the cotton fields of the South into vast acres of productivity and prosperity. The busy North and the gentle South joined in a mutual bond of commercial growth. Year by year, new states joined the Union. More cotton, grain, salt meat, and sugar cane floated along the Mississippi River to the New Orleans markets. To accommodate the growing demands of a busy republic, the rafts laden with cargo gave way to larger, comfortable carriers called riverboats. As interstate travel became more comfortable, it became fashionable. The iron bands of the railroads were speeding the economy toward western expansion. The barriers of plains and mountains separating the North and the West gave way to roadbeds of steel and accelerated trade in a new direction. The South pursued its cotton economy. But the West had land. And then, gold. Word of the discovery of gold in the American West brought fortune seekers from all parts of the world, cutting new trails far beyond the railroads in wooden wagons and on horseback. The wagon trains traveled deep into the heart of the ancient tribal life of the American Indian, involving him in a wave of the future he could not comprehend. The Indian first met the newcomer with violence, soon learned craftier ways of besting him. The rigors of daily life were relieved by equally rigorous forms of relaxation. A favorite sport among the men was the exercise of skill exhibited in breaking a high-spirited colt into controlled obedience to its owner. When the wagon trains were stilled for the night, folk songs from the old world were recalled with fond sentiment, and new ones told of toils encountered in conquering the plains. On festive occasions, pioneer wagon dwellers gathered around the campfire, and another folk dance, Americana, was originated. The solid wealth of the American West was ultimately found in the grass and in the soil. In the 30 years following the 1860s, more land was brought under cultivation than in all the previous history of the United States. During the same period, the population of the nation more than doubled. The tempo of business kept pace with this growth. The search for quick, efficient methods brought forth an era of ingenuity. Mechanical processes began to enlarge business operations. A communication system linked distant parts of the continent. A steady succession of inventions accelerated the social and economic life of the nation. The horseless carriage was introduced. It proved to be the beginning of an industrial giant. The chapter of big business began in the United States. Industrial expansion followed the route the pioneers had established. The country began to take on sectional identities. The stock exchange became synonymous with New York. Fishing villages meant New England. Steel, Pittsburgh. Lumber, the Northwest Territory. The span from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific had been accomplished. Post-World War II had its problems worldwide. America was to experience in every little town, every geographic section, every category of living, a sense of responsibility, not only to its domestic welfare, but to the welfare of people in cities, towns, and countries spanning the globe. The network of communications saw television become a mass educator as well as a mass entertainer. Hours of TV documentary and discussion were broken with nostalgic reenactments of days when physical durability was the prime requirement. The legendary West provided a seemingly endless source of material Americana. Every decade has its definitive character. The serious 60s may record its name in dance, but one pauses to wonder, who will have the time for that form of Americana in a decade already marked by speed for progress?